Today we will be learning statement of profit and loss. This is the second financial statement. First financial statement was balance sheet. Now the second financial statement is the statement of profit and loss, and it is almost same as you have done last year. You have done profit and loss account, but the name of the financial statement in case of companies is statement of profit and loss. So you can see last year you have prepared it in an account form where you were using the words to and by on the debit and credit side respectively. But here you will not find any to and by because it is actually not an account, it is only a statement. And it is again in the vertical format. It is not in the horizontal format. So now I will explain the terms one by one. Again, see, for comparison purpose, two information is always given in case of companies, in balance sheet also, and in profit and loss account also. Note number, you are much familiar with note number also, you have prepared notes to accounts. So as we are giving notes to accounts for balance sheet accounts, same we are giving for the accounts which we are mentioning in statement of profit and loss also. So we will give the details in notes to accounts. Now coming to this portion, revenue from operations. So if you remember your profit and loss account, I will try to explain the terms of last year learning also. So revenue from operations is nothing, it is sales. Because your main operating activity is buying and selling of goods. So revenue from operations means revenue, and revenue in business means sales. So that's why revenue from operations are sales. This is the main operating activity of your business. The main operating activity of your business. Some examples are given here for revenue from operations. Sales are revenue from operations. Then fees earned by service company. Obviously, the companies which are providing you services instead of providing goods, they will be charging their service fees. So whatever fees they are charging for their services, it will be termed as revenue from operations. Then third one is interest and dividend earned by a financial company. Now this point is very important for coming topics, for coming chapters. So I will be giving a little bit idea of it here also. That suppose you are a company which is dealing in mobile phones. So your main operating activity will be buying of mobile phones and selling of mobile phones. Or you can say if you are manufacturer of mobile phones, then you will be purchasing raw material for manufacturing of mobile phones. Then your operating activity is purchasing of raw material, then production of mobile phones, and then selling of mobile phones. Your main operating activity will not be investing funds somewhere. But if you are a financial company, you are dealing in some sort of financial services, like you are providing some loans, you are collecting the deposits, sort of banking services you are providing, then you will be investing your money in different types of assets. You will be giving different types of loans. So that's why you will be earning interest and dividends. So it is your operating activity that you will be accepting deposits and you will be depositing that money into some higher interest earning options. So that's why this is the operating activity of a financial company. That's why interest and dividend will be always operating income of a financial company. But it will be non-operating income for a non-financial company. These 2 points should be clear to you for the coming topics. Then sale of scrap. Now what happens sometimes, suppose you are purchasing some product. That product has 2-3 types of packaging that you have learned in marketing also. So One is immediate packaging, that customer will open and then he or she can start using the product. But some packaging has been done always for the purpose of transportation. Or whatever transportation packaging you have done, after a point of time, it becomes a scrap for you. It becomes a scrap for you. So that's why you can sell that part. Now, when you are paying for the goods, you are also paying that part of packaging also. So that's why whatever revenue you are getting from the sale of scrap, that will be also covered in revenue from operations. So, but major part of sale revenue from operation will be always sales or fees earned by a service company. But because we are concerned about mostly with the companies which are dealing in goods, that's why sales will be the major part. Now, other than sales, you always receive some income. If you remember your profit and loss account, you were receiving commission, you were receiving rent, dividend, interest. So rent, dividend, and interest are not an operating income for the business. So that sort of income will come in other income because it is income at least for the business. So now you can see profit on sale of fixed assets, bad debts recovered, excess provision returned back. If you remember last year, I told you that the provision for bad debts which is existing in your trial balance, that will be written on the credit side of profit and loss account. That is called excess provision returned back. Interest earned by non-finance company, that I told you few minutes back, that interest received by a financial company will be an operating revenue. But if you are a non-financial company, non-financing company, then whatever interest or dividend or rent you are receiving, that will be covered in other income. Then if you are getting some income tax refund, what is income tax refund? Income tax refund is that suppose last year I have paid rupees 10,000 to the government of India as income tax. And when my actual tax liability has been assessed as per the rules of Income Tax Act, then my actual tax liability was rupees 8,000. So what happened? That government of India will return me 2,000 back. So whatever amount the government of India is returning me back, it is called refund of income tax, because I had paid earlier more than the tax liability. So I hope other income is also clear. Clear? If you are clear, please let me know that. So what I have done here, you can see this statement is a combination of trading and profit and loss account. There is no segregation of trading and profit and loss account in this. Whatever my revenue from operations are there, means sales are there, and whatever other incomes are there. Earlier last year I was writing them separately. One was in trading account and one was in profit and loss account. Now I have added all my incomes. So this is the total revenue of the business. I have got now the total revenue of the business. Now in the next part, I will be starting writing my expenses, whatever expenses I am having. Earlier we were segregating last year the expenses into direct and indirect expenses. The direct expenses were written in the trading account and the indirect expenses were written in profit and loss account. So here you will find that all the expenses, whether it belongs to trading account or profit and loss account, these are written in expenses column. So first thing is cost of materials consumed. Cost of material consumed means actually cost of raw materials consumed, because generally companies are engaged in manufacturing activities. That's why it is termed as cost of materials consumed. Last year we were preparing trading and profit and loss account generally for the trading concerns. So that's why there we were calculating cost of goods sold. If you remember, cost of goods sold. Both concepts are same. You can see the formula. Opening inventory means opening stock. Inventory is the synonym of stock here. Then purchase of materials and minus closing inventory. If any direct expenses will be there, that also can be added here. But the basic formula is this only. Then second thing is purchase of stock in trade. So purchase of stock in trade is if you are engaged somehow in purchasing and selling of some goods, then that goods will be called as stock in trade. Means stock in trade is specifically mentioned for the goods which you have bought for the purpose of only reselling and earning profit. Purchase of stock in trade means goods purchased for reselling, specifically purchased for reselling. If you are purchasing anything which you will be doing further processing and you will be converting that into finished goods, then that purchase will not be termed as stock in trade. If purchased for further processing, then it is not stock in trade. It will be a part of cost of material consumed. That purchase will go here. So there is a difference between purchase of stock in trade and purchase of materials. So these both should be clearly understood now, and I hope it is clear. So if you are purchasing something which you will be doing processing, then it will be called purchase of material. That will be considered as cost of material consumed. And if you are purchasing something for reselling purpose directly, you will purchase and then resell it at some profit. Then it will be termed as purchase of stock in trade. The next term is changes in inventory of finished goods, work in progress, and stock in trade. So last year, if you remember, when you were calculating cost of goods sold, at that time you were using this formula: opening inventory plus purchases plus data expenses minus closing inventory. So now if you will see, if I eliminate this part, then simply it remains opening inventory minus closing inventory. So now see, purchases I have included here, whatever goods I am purchasing for reselling purposes, that I have written separately as I was writing in trading account. Then I was writing opening inventory on the debit side and closing inventory on the credit side. Means it was opening inventory minus closing inventory. So now even you can see the same is here, opening inventory minus closing inventory. So the formula for changes in inventory is also opening inventory minus closing inventory. Difference between opening and closing inventory. So it is nothing, it is the second version of your trading account. You can see opening inventory plus purchases minus closing inventory. Same has been done here also. It is cost of material consumed, it is cost of goods sold. So this is how I will explain. Now coming to the next term, employee benefit expenses. So whatever expenses you are incurring in the providing facilities to your employees, that is termed as employee benefit expenses. So if you are giving any wages, salaries, bonus, leave encashment, whatever leaves you are paying in cash, or any staff welfare expenses if you are doing, that all are covered in employee benefit expenses. Finance cost is interest paid on any long-term or short-term loans, that is termed as finance cost. Interest paid on term loans, bank overdraft, cash credit limit, public deposits, debentures. These all you can see, these are either your long-term loans or short-term loans. So whatever it is, or sometimes if you are getting loan from banks or any other financial institution, you have to pay some loan processing fee also. Whatever discount on debentures you are giving, that is also finance cost. Whatever premium you are giving on the redemption of debentures or preference shares, that will also be finance cost. But bank charges are not finance cost. Bank charges are not shown under finance cost. It comes under other expenses. So bank charges are not finance cost, but whatever connection is there with some borrowings or for some finance you have done, that will be coming in finance cost. Next part is depreciation and amortization. Both terms are much familiar. Depreciation you will always charge on tangible fixed assets, and amortization you will always be charging on the intangible fixed assets, and both are of same nature. These are the actually reduction in the value of tangible or intangible assets. Other expenses, so whatever expenses you are not able to cover in any of these headings, these all expenses will come here. I will give you some examples of other expenses also. Like many expenses are there which you have not written anywhere, like you were writing in trading account, carriage inward, carriage outward, these sort of expenses, electricity expense, any office and administration expense which you have not covered in any of these headings, selling and distribution expenses will be there, discount will be there. So many expenses are there which you were writing in trading and profit and loss account. These all will come in other expenses heading. Then you will get the total expenses here in this column. So here it is total revenue and here it is total expenses. So total revenue minus total expenses. Third minus fourth. That will be your profit before tax. Profit before tax means it is your profit, but you have not paid tax out of this profit. Then afterwards, whatever rate of tax is payable on your income as per the Income Tax Act, you will charge that tax on your income. You will deduct that tax, and after deducting tax, you will get again your profit. That is called your profit or loss for the period, or sometimes we call it profit after tax. In short, we call it PAT. In short, it is called PBT. PAT means profit after tax, means it is a profit in which tax has already been deducted. So after deducting tax, you will get this profit. So this is the way of calculating profit and loss in case of companies. So I hope the statement of profit and loss is also clear. If you will practice it 3-4 times, then it will also be easily remembered to you in the coming topic which we will be discussing in the next class. You will need this format also. So I will request that you please practice both the statements, balance sheet as well as profit and loss, in this manner. And few topics are there which you have studied in class 11th last year, like objectives of financial statements, essential of financial statements, users of financial statement that you have studied in first chapter last year, limitations of financial statement. These all topics have been discussed. So I am not discussing these topics here. You can go through these topics in your books. These are the theoretical parts. And if you feel any doubt regarding any topic, any queries there, you can ask me. I will explain that, because these are general topics which we have discussed throughout the last year also. So that's why I will not be devoting much time to these topics. But due to the objective type questions, theoretical knowledge is must. That's why I will request that please go through these topics on your own also.